Hey everybody, Prep Nurse 1 here. Today, excuse me, is Wednesday the 19th, 2023. Beautiful, beautiful day. Sun is out, it's warm, feels good. Actually, I think we're gonna hit 80 today, is what they're saying, so I'm not gonna complain about that. So, before we jump into the video, I just want to remind everybody I will be live streaming tonight at 8 p.m. Topic to be determined. Not sure what it's going to be yet. Let's look over here. You got to give these guys some water over here too. Yeah, you can see them already starting a little bit. Not a bad thing. So, I'll definitely give them guys some water today. Got to get this grass cut soon. Got to start cutting grass. I'm thinking that might happen today, or start today, or tonight, or tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see how motivated I am. It's got to happen this week, though. I got to get the first major grass cutting thing going. I did a little up in that area for the get together, but that was it. All right, let's get into this topic, guys. How does change happen? Sitting around complaining, doing nothing, changes nothing. Change starts with you. So if you want something to be different, it's up to you to do something about it. And so what do I mean by that, right? Do I mean, let's take up arms and take over? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you don't like the way things are going in your life, so we're just basically going to go with what's affecting you directly, well, then it's time to do something about it. If you don't like where you're at, you don't like your situation, do something about it. Change, when I had left New York at 27 and moved down to North Carolina for a year, and I loved it down there. I absolutely loved it. Loved North Carolina. I was obviously long before I was a prepper or anything like that, and loved it down there, really enjoyed it. There was an issue that happened back home in New York, and so I ended up having to go back to New York to deal with that situation. And I planned on, I said, I'm going to be here 6 months, and I'm out of here, right? Well, then I had the opportunity to go back to school, went back to school, got my nursing degree, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a year experience, and then I'm going to be out of here again. Well, as you guys all know, I finally left New York. I bought this property a couple years ago, and finally left New York. Well, it'll be 2 years that I've owned the property in August. So anyway, finally left New York, came down here more than 30 years after the fact, and I hated New York. Hated the weather, the politics, the taxes, all of it. Couldn't stand it, and you're a prisoner of your own device a lot of times. You sit there and you complain and you just, this sucks, I hate it here, I can't stand it, and you don't do anything about it for whatever reason, okay? I mean, my reasoning was the reason that I ended up staying so long is when when I was with my ex-wife, I had said to her at that point, let's get out of here, let's move south. And at the time, she was like, well, I would be moving away from family. I go, you don't see your family anyway. You don't spend any time with your family. Who cares? But she would not leave. And then when we went our separate ways, I didn't feel it was right to take the kids and leave the state, so they wouldn't see their mother at all. I didn't feel that was right. So that's why I continued to stay. Well, once the kids became adults, all those excuses of why I was staying were now gone. And so I made that decision to, look for something else. And that's when I came down here to West Virginia and I found this beautiful piece of property and got away from New York State. And I'll tell you what, much, much happier for it. And, What a difference. What a difference. So anyway, you know, if you want to change, you have to be the facilitator of that change. I'm going to tell you what, guys, starting over again, starting from scratch again, regardless of what age you are. I mean, I've already been told you're too old to start over again. You're never too old to start over again. If you want something different, if you want change, it is never too late. You are never too old, but you have to be the one to want to make that change, to do that change, not make excuses of why you can't do the change. See, that's the problem. People are making excuses all the time of why they have to be in the situation that they're in, why they can't get out of the situation that they're in, you know, be it an unhappy marriage or whatever the case may be. You know, when you stay in an unhappy marriage, I'm going to give you an example of something. You're staying in an unhappy marriage, and I'm doing it for the kids, so they don't have to have, you know, mom and dad separated. Well, guess who it affects when you are fighting all the time and when you're arguing all the time and you're not getting along all the time? That affects the kids. Absolutely does. And so, you know, those are choices that we all make. And so, again, we have to make that decision of what is not only best for us, but your circumstances. And the kids are always going to be adaptable. They're always going to adjust, but it definitely affects them as well. But to spend the rest of your life miserable and unhappy because you're afraid to make a change? That's not a good enough reason, folks. It's not a good enough reason. You know, you have to make tough choices sometimes. That's part of life. And, you know, what are you doing? If you're unhappy, your job sucks, you know, I always looked at it like this. I personally believe that everything happens for a reason. I believe everything happens when it should. That's just my take on it. Now, you can believe that, you cannot believe that. That's perfectly fine. You can believe whatever you want to do. But one job ends, another opportunity opens up, maybe a better opportunity. You know, if you're miserably unhappy in your job, maybe it's time to move on down the road. Wherever you go, though, I will tell you this right now. Whatever job you go to, there's always going to be some kind of politics. There's always going to be some kind of games going on. That's never going to change. So my old saying is, and I tell people this all the time, be it a relationship, be it a job, whatever the case may be, we all have to eat a certain amount of crap, okay? We all have to eat a certain amount of crap. What it comes down to, what is an acceptable amount of crap you're willing to eat? You know, when you're raising a family, you know, and you have kids and you have responsibilities, the amount of crap that you're going to eat is going to be higher, you know? But when you are on your own and you're single and, you know, you have only responsibility as you, the amount of crap that you're willing to eat should be a lot less, you know? So those are things to think about. Those are things to think about. So it's so weird here. I don't know exactly what's going on. There, like one of the guys in the group had parked here, okay? And this is still wet. Everything else around here is really dried out now, but this area right through here, right in line with the well, you can see it. It's wet right through here. There's standing water in that tire track. So I don't know what that is weird. That is absolutely weird. You can see the water coming here. I mean, that looks like fresh standing water. So I don't know what's going on there. Interesting though. Interesting, because especially when everything else in this area is dried out. I don't know, just one of those look at shiny moments. It's just an observation I was looking at. The rest of this is nice and perfectly dry. So anyway, I want to hear your feedback on this, guys. Do you feel that, you know, are you stagnated in where you're at, what you're doing? Are you doing something to make that change, to change what's going on, to change your position of what you do, following your happiness, following your dreams? Are you doing those things? Without having hopes and dreams, there is nothing. You have nothing. So that's something to think about, okay? So anyway, guys, I think I am going to jump off here so I can get this video up for you guys. Again, I will be live streaming tonight at 8 o'clock, so I would encourage you to join me then. I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you guys are being safe. And again, I'm going to encourage you, change if you need to. The only things that are going to change is when you make the change. Okay? That's it. So, kind of like a pep talk, I guess, if you will. But I want to encourage you all. Do things that make you happy. Follow your dreams. Follow your heart. And if you're unhappy, change your situation. So, anyway, guys, remember, we are truly all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we're going to truly be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us. Race, religion, political affiliation, these are all nonsensical things that make no difference at all. If we can come together as human beings, we can accomplish a lot, and I think we should try to do that. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that's going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. All right? I hope you all have a great day, and I will talk to you later. I just wanted to point out one thing. Look at how these trees are greening up really, really nice now. Gosh, I love seeing that. Pretty soon you ain't gonna see nothing that way anymore because of all the greenery on the trees. Really love that. All right, guys, I will see you later. Bye.